I couldn't have been more wrong. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, I was convinced there really wasn't a lot he could do to make it worse, and he has absolutely slapped me around here and spit in my face, letting me know that no, it always could get worse. I already made a video talking about his $8 a month for the check mark on Twitter, his verification, his pay to win opinion scheme where you can pay $8 a month to have your check mark and you get priority in the search and replies and all that. I already talked about that at length. The main takeaway there is I just find that to be really embarrassing. To publicly display that you pay for a service like Twitter is more shameful than letting people know that you pay for furry porn. So I just thought that would be a little Boy Scout badge people would always point and laugh at you for, and that was the worst thing about it. I just thought it was silly, especially because you don't even get an ad-free experience. You're paying $8 a month and he says you only get half as many ads, which is just a fat L. Imagine paying a monthly subscription and still getting ads. Yucky. But today, Elon Musk actually made a much more concerning announcement regarding this new program, where if you don't pay $8 a month for Twitter, if you try and use Twitter for free, as it's always been, you're basically shadow banned. At least that's how it sounds coming from his mouth. Your replies aren't really going to be seen. He says verbatim, you'll have to scroll far to see unverified users, which sounds like going forward, you'll need to cough up $8 a month in order to have a voice. To anyone with their brain even remotely functioning properly, you'll recognize this is the exact opposite of free speech, which he claims to champion for the platform. But I'm just going to publicly beg all Elon Musk meat riders to hop off his cock for just a few seconds here, put away your little sausage fingers before writing your comment about how upset you are that I insulted your savior, and just listen. Just join me on a magic school bus ride through this absolutely terrible idea and why this is such a fucking outrageous program.
So how do you prevent the use of the N-word? We should be able to figure out with software how to moderate this and prevent that from happening. Is that true or not?
What I'm trying to achieve with this sort of enabling everyone to be payment verified with Twitter Blue is to try to get as many people payment verified as possible. It's only $8 a month, although for some people that were complaining about that, and these are people who pay more than that for their latte.
Elon was asked his strategy for combating hate speech, racism, anti-Semitism, all that, and he brought up the payment subscription plan as a way of fighting against it. But I wanted to highlight this part here where he compares the price of a Starbucks latte to the subscription plan, because he loves this one. This is for some reason like his smoking gun. He's already posted this dank meme about it, so this is pretty much his anime signature finishing move. This is his Kamehameha. He really thinks this is just a checkmate, like, so you'll pay $8 for a Starbucks latte and it only lasts you 30 minutes, but you'll cry about $8 a month for Twitter and it lasts you 30 days. Curious. So you'll pay $8 for a drink and it only lasts you a couple of minutes, but you're gonna go ahead and whine and throw a temper tantrum for the same price for having a voice on a shithole platform? Very interesting. I'm not a Starbucks enjoyer. I don't like Starbucks. I don't go there. Maybe the drinks are overpriced. Couldn't tell you. But that's neither here nor there. This is just like a gotcha moment that a child would think is clever. Like, Mom, Dad, why won't you buy me the new Call of Duty game? We spend more on groceries every week, and this is just a one-time purchase. And some of those groceries are so yucky, like broccoli and shit. We're paying more for that than Call of Duty, so just get me Call of Duty. Or back in the day when streaming services first started popping off, streaming service to nutbutt.com is only $6 a month. That's less than a single meal from Burger King. It's just so silly. You're comparing things that aren't even comparable. You're comparing food to a checkmark on Twitter. Like, it's so dumb. I also see a lot of people bastardizing what free speech means in order to fit their own personal image of Elon Musk as the Messiah. People are saying this is just how it's supposed to be. Twitter's like this big public bulletin board where anyone can go up and post something on it, but now you can pay to post something bigger on it on top of those. And I guess you're not, like, wrong, but why is that something that's good? In fact, this is the exact thing people were upset about before Elon's takeover, talking about silencing their voice, where more powerful, more wealthy outlets were overshadowing their side of things and their opinions. And now it's just like a blatant system that celebrates that fact. And for some reason, because it's Elon, they're like, oh no, this is good now.
Part of it's revenue, part of it is payment authentication. And so if somebody, because there is a huge problem with spam and bots and trolls on Twitter, and organizations trying to manipulate public opinion. But if we can get enough verified users, and we're going to prioritize Twitter search, replies, mentions by verified users first.
This is not news. He made this very clear with his initial post saying like the benefits of the checkmark going forward, which is priority in these places. But what wasn't clear is not only are they getting priority, but the people that don't pay for it are getting fundamentally shadow banned. And he's going to go a little further on that in just a moment here, but I just wanted to point out that's not new. He made this clear that by paying for it, you are going to have the benefit of being, you know, the superstar of every single post you ever make, I suppose. People will see that you pay $8 a month for Twitter, they'll give you a thumbs up and start throwing roses and blowing kisses your way for such a great financial decision. This isn't any new information, but I just want to again let everyone know that this is the value that they're paying for $8 a month on Twitter.
With blue checkmark, then you're prioritized, and hateful conduct pays. But if somebody risks losing even $8, the net effect will be over time that the verified users will pretty much always be at the top of comments and search, and you won't really see. You'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
So if something we don't want to see, it gets pushed way down. And
yeah, just the basic.
I promise you, if this was announced before Elon Musk's takeover, there would be nobody defending it. But the fact that Elon Musk has people that would throw themselves in front of a fucking moving train if it meant saving Elon's reputation, they're doing the most incredible mental gymnastics to try and spin this as a positive thing, which it's not. This goes against free speech. Plain and simple. It absolutely does. If you don't pay, you don't have a voice. It's as simple as that. What he's describing here, where you just get pushed to the bottom and you really won't be seen, that's called shadow banning, and it's something everybody hates because it's just downright wrong. It's fucking evil. And he's celebrating it like, oh, if you're not paying me, if you don't have that check mark, you're not going to be seen. That's not a flex. That's not something people will wiggle their finger about with a smile on their face. That is a Wumbo-sized box of ass right there. What a load of shit. It's so dumb. And another fundamental misunderstanding Elon Musk can't wrap his brain around is the fact that there are people that aren't bots, aren't trolls, that won't pay $8 a month. He says you won't see from these unverified users, that's the bots and the trolls. So in his mind, the only unverified users are bots and trolls. He can't comprehend that there's going to be real people with real voices that either can't afford $8 a month or just don't want to pay $8 a month. But he still just throws them down just like, oh no, they're beneath us. Those are bots and trolls. Those unverified users, not real people.
And you won't really see, you'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
When this was initially announced, I thought this would just be like what verification used to mean, like just confirming there's a real person behind the keyboard. But it's not that anymore. It's confirming it's a real person behind the keyboard, and now it's the only way to have a voice. You can't be a free user anymore. At least not one that gets seen. So if you're posting Twitter to like talk to friends or engage in conversation with people that you like, and you're a free user, there's a good chance they won't see it because it'll get drowned out by the verified users. So fundamentally, you just get pushed out of your own circles by the priority of the verified accounts. When he announced this, he tried to portray it as like power to the people, but all it is power to the people that pay. So it's even more so benefiting and only benefiting the people that are wealthy enough to afford an $8 subscription to an absolute fucking hemorrhoid like Twitter, and just completely slaps everyone who can't afford that or won't pay for it. I also don't necessarily seeing it being effective at stopping scams, spam, or hate speech, because he even mentions, you know, people will pay for it and we'll just ban them. It's significantly cheaper now to pay $8 a month for a checkmark than it was for scammers and all of that prior. It was like 15 grand if you bought like a hacked verified account to promote your scam. It was far more expensive. So all of those scammers that were verified and scamming are now able to do it cheaper and probably more often because it's such a lower price point for them now. So I don't see it even stopping that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. The way he describes it, though, really does seem like as a free user, you basically can't exist on Twitter, at least not in any meaningful way with your current circles or making posts. They just won't get seen because all the verified accounts are going to be above you everywhere, not just in the comments, but also in the search. So I don't know how people are even going to find unverified accounts anymore. So yeah, that's the latest update here from this awful idea from Elon. As I've mentioned numerous times now, I really wouldn't mind if Twitter shut down just in general. I think it would be a net positive to the whole fucking world if that were the case. And this does seem like it's a push in that direction. I feel like there's not a ton of people that'll pay $8 a month to be verified, but I just don't know. I really don't. I'm not paying $8 a month for it, I can promise you that much, but I guess we'll have to see how popular the system becomes, but regardless, it is legitimately against free speech, no matter what happens. It is just a fucked up idea. So, that's about it. See ya.